grade 9. I am Miss Woods.
I am Mr. Gibney for science.
I'm Mr. Levisser for history.
And we are going to talk to you today about your final project, which is going to be a collaboration of English, science, and history. So let me tell you a little bit about this project. What you're going to do in this project is you're going to create a Google slide and a CER for all of our classes combined. So you are going to do a Google slide presentation for me, a CER for Mr. Gibney, and a Google slide presentation for Mr. L on a scientific issue that you will research throughout the course of this project and then submit it to all of our classes. That's essentially what you're going to do, but I'll give you the specifics about English right now. So the first thing is these essential questions. As you engage in your project and in your research, I want you to have these questions at the forefront of your mind. How do informational texts influence readers? How do we know if a source is credible? And how does a text structure, format, and features help determine an author's purpose? So that's what you'll be looking at as you engage in your research and reading scientific articles, looking at YouTube videos or scientific journals. Make sure you have those at the forefront of your mind. The standards and the skills that you will focus on throughout this project are citing strong and thorough textual information to support your ideas and your analysis, making sure that you can make inferences from this information, determine the author's point of view and their purpose, and how they use that in order to express their idea, making sure that you can determine the central idea or the argument or the claims of a text, gathering relevant information, and then using that to support your ideas, and then drawing evidence to support your analysis and reflect upon it and your research. So you need to draw your own conclusion based upon the information that you find. And that's essentially what you will start to develop and continue to develop throughout this project. So what is the project actually for English? Well, here it is. What's the real informational text summative assessment project? So what you're going to do for me is, with a partner or alone, after reading a plethora of digital and print information on a scientific issues, you're going to create a multimedia presentation that compares and contrasts the decisions such as the purpose or the visuals, the audience, the text features and structures of 4 authors to portray the same scientific topic and how they influence the reader. So you're looking at 4 different articles or sources and the decisions that these authors made in order to express their ideas on the same topic that you will choose, a scientific topic that Mr. Gibney will talk to you about. And so what types of sources am I looking for you to use? Well, you can use our TAISM database. We have SIRS at the TAISM database. You can use TED Talks. You can go on YouTube and find other sources, audios, audiobooks, all those types of things. You can also use other databases that TAISM has, such as issues and controversies. You can look at scientific journals like Nature, or you can look on Google Scholar. In particular, you need to make sure that your sources are credible, that they are reliable, and that they are academic. And so you can't just do a basic Google search. They have to be well-credited sources that you're looking at. And that's essentially what you're going to do for me. What about you, Mr. Gibney?
Thank you, Ms. Woods. I just want to say that finding credible sources is so important. And you're going to use those credible sources to then explain the science of your scientific issue. So you saw a couple of examples. I'll go back one slide. Here is an example. Should the U.S. government provide funding for embryonic stem cell research? Well, maybe you analyzed a bunch of credible articles from Ms. Woods about stem cells. And then for my class, you need to describe what stem cells are and how do they work on a scientific level. You will do that in 2 ways. First of all, you will fill out a claim, evidence, reasoning, research document that you will type in Google Classroom. You may do that on your own or with a partner. And then, just like you did in Ms. Wood's class, you'll make a multimedia presentation. And I'm envisioning you'll make Google Slides, and then you'll narrate them and make a video describing what you've learned. Here are the standards that are involved: obtaining, evaluating, and communicating information, constructing explanations, designing solutions, and engaging in argument from evidence. These are the scientific practices in the next generation science standards. And these are really important to be able to do these processes with credible sources. So just to make sure you're clear, this is the same scientific issue you picked for Ms. Wood's class that you'll now explain in a claim evidence reasoning framework in my class. You might be sitting there thinking, wow, where am I going to get a scientific issue from? Ms. Woods, Mr. Levasseur, and myself, we've come up with a list of 20 of them for you to look at, and you can choose, or you can choose your own ones. You might choose something current like COVID-19, or you might want to choose something like, are genetically modified foods safe to eat? And then you could research it and explain it. So for science, a CER and a video presentation on it that you'll submit through Google Classroom on the same scientific issue. Now I'll kick it to Mr. L.
All right, so for world history, you're going to take that same scientific issue, and now you're going to look at different social science perspectives. So we'll talk about that in a second. The essential questions for us: how can we understand the full context of a scientific issue? And next, how can we use different lenses, different perspectives from social studies to better understand that scientific issue? So again, with that same partner that you're working on for English and biology, or if you decide to work alone, and that same scientific issue, you're going to create a multimedia presentation that addresses 4 letters of this social science acronym called PERSIA. So each letter stands for a different lens. P stands for political, E stands for economic, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. You choose 4 of those letters, and you'll analyze that scientific issue to understand the background and the context of it. And lastly, you'll create this presentation that has a thesis statement and a super cool sandwich, and you'll narrate over that presentation what you found and what your conclusions are. Lastly, for social studies are the standards. So what kind of standards are we addressing with this project? Well, of course, you're going to be conducting a research project, and you're going to narrow down sources and synthesize sources and demonstrate your understanding. And then these next 3, analyzing how historical context shaped and continue to shape people's perspectives, analyzing relationships and interactions between human and physical systems, and then analyzing past and current ways of changing society and promoting the good for all. These are all different social science perspectives that we're going to look at. Now, I'm excited for you to engage in this triple project that we have going on. So I'm going to kick it back to Mr. Gibney to wrap things up.
All right, we really look forward to seeing you collaborate in the same way that we have in making this project for you all. And we put this animated GIF in here because finding credible resources and using them and analyzing them is really a key to becoming the kind of student that can engage in 21st century skills. So we look forward to your work. We are here to help you. Reach out to us at all times, and we look forward to it, students. We miss you very much. Take care.